So here we are in the Alexander Valley at Silver Oak Winery, and Mr. David Duncan here with us, and nice to have you with us today, and going to tell us a little bit about this, not new winery, but pretty new winery, and an incredible vineyards here.
Yeah, it still feels a little bit like a shiny penny. So yeah, we finished this winery in time for the 2017 vintage. So that was our first vintage here. So this is 17, 18, 19, 20. This is our fourth year, which it's amazing how that time flies by.
Tell us a little bit about the genesis of Silver Oak from the beginning, and the Justin Meyer story, and how it all started, you know?
Yeah, so my dad was interested in grape growing. In the spring of 1972, he bought the dairy property in Oakville. They were grazing cows there. You know, Napa was very different in those days. Shortly thereafter, he received a call from a guy named Tom Connolly, who said that Brother Justin had left Christian Brothers. So Justin and Ray met, and Justin said, "I want to make this Cabernet Sauvignon. I want to focus on that. I think that is the great varietal for the North Coast." And in those days, everybody was making Gamay and Chablis and Zinfandel and everything under the sun. And so we committed from the very beginning to only make Cabernet Sauvignon. Justin had this winemaking style, and Ray and Justin shook hands and became 50-50 partners.
We turned the dairy farm into some of the best vineyards in the world. Where did the idea that American oak, because I mean, obviously a lot of winemakers are using French oak, and you always hear like new French oak barrels and things like that. When did that start? Was that from the beginning that American oak became?
Very much so. So Justin's winemaking vision for Silver Oak was what he used to call drinkable upon release. And so the wines that were being made in the early 70s were, you know, everybody was trying to compete with Bordeaux and make wines like they did in Bordeaux. So one of the things, they were making very tannic, big style wines that really weren't meant to open for 10 or 20 years.
You have to lay them down for 10 years.
Forever. And so Justin thought that was not a good plan. Justin really liked the flavor profile. He liked the tannic structure of American oak. And so we started really from the very beginning. There's a rumor that we had a couple of Hungarian oak barrels in the very beginning, but I don't think Silver Oak ever used French oak. Today we use 100% American oak with Silver Oak. We actually own our own cooperage. So
that's interesting. So you own the cooperage where the barrels are made, and
about 80% of the barrels we make ourselves.
Great being able to control everything from when it comes out of the ground and when it's grown and in the barrel and then in the bottle. Yeah. Well, let's taste some wine.
Okay, great. This is the Twomey Sauvignon Blanc. This is the 2019 vintage. The fun thing about this wine is that it is 100% estate grown, speaking of estate fruit. Mm-hmm. And we have 2 vineyards in Napa and 2 vineyards in Sonoma County, of course, all of which we own. And we blend those 4 vineyards together, each vintage, to make the Sauvignon Blanc. And I think we can do a socially distanced cheers. And the style of this really is around the freshness and crispness of Sauvignon Blanc, and I tend to personally lean away from the sort of grassy style of Sauvignon Blanc, so you'll get a lot more stone fruit, that more of that profile. It's the only wine we produce in screw cap because we want you to drink it this year, and we'll.
It's this year.
We'll make more next year. I just actually came from our Twomey Healdsburg winery, and I just tasted the Sauvignon Gris and the Sauvignon Blanc. First pick was yesterday. So
it's picked already. Huh?
Yeah, we picked a little bit yesterday. We have some young vines that weren't going to handle the heat, so we got that off the vine.
It's coming
fast.
We
have the first ones in.
So this is what the house is built on.
This is what the house is built on. So this is the 2016 Silver Oak Alexander Valley. At Silver Oak we only make 2 wines, so we have the Alexander Valley and the Napa Valley. And one of the things people may not know is this is actually the last bottling that was produced at our winery that we were at for 25 years, and so the 17 will be coming from the new winery. But I think this is a really, really nice expression, Alexander Valley Cab.
One promise I make with every one of these American Artisan episodes is that people will learn something they've never known. Is there something special being released here in the fall that I heard about?
Well, yeah, we have a new brand. We haven't launched a brand since 1999 when we started Twomey.
Right.
But we have a new project called Timeless Napa Valley. And this is a single vineyard red wine. I think the inspiration for this actually came out of Twomey and our efforts with Pinot Noir, and kind of as we really got into exploring the single vineyard. And so this is from our Soda Canyon Ranch in the southeastern part of Napa. All the fruit comes from there, and it's really an expression of that ranch. It's a very unique ranch. It's an important component of our Silver Oak Napa Valley, and we also sort of built this as an homage to my dad, Ray.
Yeah.
So it says for Ray on the back of the bottle right here. But this is the 2017 vintage, and we're releasing this. This will be available for purchase on September 1st.
This will be the first release of Timeless.
This is the inaugural vintage of Timeless, and Thursday we bottled the 18. So we've got another one coming.
Fabulous.
It's actually, the name actually comes from a song that I wrote for Dad's 85th birthday.
Ah.
And then unfortunately Ray passed away before he got to hear the song, but we sort of used that as the inspiration for the
That's a
label.
great homage.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for taking the time with us, and
Appreciate it, Charlie.
all the best for the future.
Okay, great to see you. Thank
Cheers.
you.